Across the U.S. and around the world, Hanukkah celebrations are taking on a somber note as the Jewish community holds vigils following the targeted mass shooting in Australia.
A little bit of darkness, or even a lot of darkness, a lot of anti-Semitism, a lot of hate, that will not stop us. Our message is one of light, of truth, and a little bit of darkness or terror or evil. That will not get in the way. That won't stop it.
Why leaders in the Jewish community are urging people to remain positive in the face of tragedy, plus what steps Fresno State is taking to ensure students feel safe on campus.
Early polling shows the race for the California's next governor is heating up. Hear why one political analyst says the number of Democratic candidates could be the party's downfall and how it could benefit Republicans.
The clock is ticking on Capitol Hill for lawmakers to nail down a health care plan ahead of Affordable Care Act subsidies expiring at the end of this year. What solution Congress is now weighing as millions of Americans prepare for a spike in insurance costs.
And we are dealing with fog yet again. Not enough for an advisory. However, it is still out there, and we are keeping an eye on the visibilities. But we have some big changes coming up in your Great Day forecast.
You're watching Fox 26, and now, Great Day.
Well, good morning. We begin this hour with a live look now at downtown Fresno. Today's high in Fresno is expected to reach maybe 50 degrees. I'll leave a question mark on that because we've said that before and it hasn't reached that.
We're doing that a lot with the weather these days.
Hold it out, hope, on this Tuesday morning. Good morning. I'm Carl Cook.
And I'm Justin Willis. Thank you for starting your day with us. And the good news is we're at the end of this. The fog should dissipate a little bit here. We're going to see some changes here that could get us into, out of the 40s anyway. So we'll get to all that in a moment here, but let's see how the day is starting out for you right now. And currently it is, cold out there right now. So bring a jacket, head out the door. 42 degrees right now. Winds are calm. Dew point's at 41. Getting a little close there with that dew point and the temperature there. So we could see fog really start to pick up here in a little bit. We'll keep an eye on it. But in the meantime, staying cloudy out there. In fact, low clouds persist today. 10 a.m. 43, noon 46 at 5, 48 degrees. Calm winds, but again, big changes are on the way. In fact, we have the possibility of an atmospheric river working its way towards the Central Valley. I'll let you know when to expect that and what other changes you can expect coming up.
In the wake of the fatal mass shooting in Australia, which targeted the Jewish community, Fresno State President Saul Jimenez Sandoval is addressing reports of anti-Semitic vandalism on campus. According to an email, Fresno State has received 3 reports of anti-Semitic campus property vandalism. Jimenez Sandoval says a multidisciplinary team got together when those reports were received and cleaned the defaced parts of campus. The Fresno State president went on to say that, quote, hate and violence have no place at Fresno State or anywhere. Anti-Semitism, harassment, intimidation, and discrimination run counter to our values and to the environment that we are committed to upholding. And another college campus here in the central San Joaquin Valley took a moment to honor those impacted by the tragedy in Australia. People gathered at UC Merced yesterday evening to light a candle in honor of the second day of Hanukkah and to honor the victims of the Bondi Beach mass shooting. The night was full of singing, dancing, and proudly honoring Jewish traditions, all coming together to work through the fear of rising displays of anti-Semitism.
It's not like I'm not feeling targeted or threatened or anything. I think we all are, and to hide in scared is not the way to win over the darkness. This evil is an irrational evil, and we have to have irrational love and light to combat that.
He encourages people to go out and offer a piece of light to someone in their community, including calling a friend or doing a good deed. And Jewish groups across the U.S. are urging for heightened security at public events following that targeted Hanukkah attack in Australia. The leading Jewish groups say only people who've been screened through pre-registering should be allowed to attend public events in the coming days. Some rabbis say they'll continue with large-scale Hanukkah celebrations to show resilience.
Have to rise back up with even more determination to really bring a message of light, because light will be the victor in the end.
One online Jewish platform is calling on the Jewish community to drown out hate with greater light and goodness. Officials are hoping new photos and videos will help them find the person responsible for a mass shooting at Brown University. They're asking for the help from the public to track down the gunman as the manhunt enters day 4. Authorities provided new videos yesterday evening showing a person dressed in dark clothing, wearing a face mask and a hat. According to the Providence police chief, the footage was taken about 2 hours before the shooting on Saturday. And he was pressed on why these images were not released sooner.
And I'll tell you that it takes time. I've mentioned it before that investigations are very complex. And when you're doing canvassing areas or when you're developing evidence, sometimes you get directed to another direction. And then that's what makes you go back to certain areas and continue to investigate.
On Sunday, authorities announced that a person of interest was detained in the attack. That person was later released by the end of the day, with officials saying that evidence pointed to an entirely different direction. Meanwhile, Rhode Island Senator Jack Reed says the attacker had a plan in place and took precautions.
What strikes me is that this is a very calculated attack, that the person seemed to know how to avoid cameras, how to enter a building and leave quickly.
The senator says investigators tried to use the latest technology like geolocating and using cell phone data to find the person behind the shooting. But they're also using other basic approaches, like going back to neighborhoods and asking people if they notice anything unusual. He adds Brown University is reviewing all of its security procedures and says both University Police and Providence Police were on the scene within minutes. 2 students were killed, 9 others were hurt in this shooting. The FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to the identification, arrest, and conviction of the person responsible.
All right, time is 5:06 now, and yeah, we're starting off with the fog tracker here because it's starting to pick up a little bit out there. Wasn't too bad coming in this morning, about 4:30 there, but we're down to a mile visibility there in a few places here. Lemoore, parts of Fresno County, and Kings County there, getting about a mile there. 3/4 mile visibility out in Reedley there, and about a mile in Fresno right now. Not enough for a dense fog advisory today, but we'll keep an eye on it and see if anything changes there, because there's a good chance that this fog picks up a little bit out there. So again, no dense fog advisory, but today could be it with this Thule fog. I know it's tough to believe after I don't know how many days of this fog, 3 weeks now going on in that, and 40-degree temperatures in a row. So I want to show you some numbers here because it's well, I'm going to say unprecedented, because 2025, our winter so far, our December that is, cold, one of the coldest ones ever at 47.1 degrees on average there. Coldest ever was a 45-degree December back in 1963. And then after this current December here, we're not even done with December, by the way. 1972, 1908 trail us by a few tenths of a degree there. So this has been one of the coldest Decembers ever on record, but you probably already knew that or felt it. Now, the other thing we're dealing with is these 40-degree temperatures that we've had all month. We've had 14 days in a row of it. Look at that. That's for this December so far. Again, I'm not done with it. And today we're forecasting a 50, so there's a good chance that we hit day 15 of 40-degree temperatures today, but we'll see how that goes. But the longest run of consecutive 40-degree afternoon highs ever was back in 1966, 18 days in a row of 40-degree temperatures. I don't think we're going to hit that right now. We're at, or this December here, we're at 14. It looks like we're going to break that because we are expecting some changes here over the next few days. And let me show you that. This high pressure, ridge of high pressure here is already starting to weaken. That's going to drop down. And now we've got this atmospheric river really starting to intensify there. It's dropping south. It's really been impacting the Pacific Northwest. But some of that's going to start getting into our area as soon as tonight in some places, with just the form of a few sprinkles here in parts of the North Valley. But it'll really start getting to us later this weekend. That ridge weekends, the fog goes, but rain comes in. Check it out. This is a look at about noon today, hitting Northern California there. We get to Wednesday, and things get pretty heavy in the northern part of the state there. And you can kind of see there along the coastline, too, up north. Bay Area getting some rain then, too. Then we get a break for a couple of days, and then we get a slight chance of rain there for parts of the North Valley Friday. Looks like it's just going to be sprinkles, if anything, there. Saturday and Sunday, though, have a better chance of snow up in the higher elevations of the Sierra Nevada mountains, and rain continuing in the North Valley, probably heavier at that time. And then we get to Sunday, where things, we have a better chance in Fresno of getting some rain there. Kind of a little strip of moisture going to work its way in, but snow in those higher elevations there, which means good news for China Peak. Could be some snow going up there for all you skiers and snowboarders out there. Sunday afternoon, this continues as well. Not likely going to hang on to Monday there. there. But then we get to about Tuesday or Wednesday next week, and things will start to pick up again for us. We're tracking that, and we'll keep you posted as that one comes in. And that's Christmas next week, by the way. All right, today's high, 50 degrees. Hopefully we get there and break that string of 40s. Tomorrow, we're going to be at 57. Thursday, 55. And we are saying partly sunny both days. 40s for your overnight lows. All right, coming up in just a bit here, we're going to look at your highs and lows across the rest of the San Joaquin Valley for your Tuesday.
Millions of Americans are just weeks away from potentially seeing their Obamacare coverage costs spike. Can Congress come up with a solution? I'm Matt Gelka in Washington, and I'll have the story coming up.
And a live look now at the Silhouette of El Capitan with a slight view of Half Dome in Yosemite National Park. Time now is 5:10 and 37 degrees there right now. You can find new headlines and the weather forecast on your screen all morning long, even through the commercial break.
Hi, I'm Monty Torres of Fox 26 News on YouTube. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel, where we have loads of great content for you to choose from. And while you're here, why not click on the subscribe button right here? That way you can stay in touch with all the latest breaking news, everything news related within the Central Valley. And thank you for watching.